way to work. Now, as you guys know, it is fight week. And I'm sorry, I'm just not really feeling the buzz for this fight. And I don't see many people talking about this fight because they kind of already know what this is. This is just a safe passage fight. Wait, believe that Canelo may be the first to stop Charlo. I don't know about that. I think Canelo, if he wins, he'll just outbox him. I'll be surprised if Canelo stops what he should do. Because if this fight goes to distance, a lot of people are not being impressed. But at the end of the day, Canelo just shouldn't have took this fight in the place because once again, nobody was asking for this fight. So now let's just flip it. I'll pose the question because I'm not afraid to go there. And I feel like people have to have these type of conversations and bring up this type of subject matter. I like to tip the scale a little bit in another direction. But okay. But what if the fight happens and Charlo does win? Freddie Roach is picking Charlo to win. Not only is Freddie Roach picking Charlo to win, I think Freddie Roach has picked Charlo to stop Canelo, which I think would be interesting. So then what do you do? And let's just say that Charlo does win. Then what do you do with Charlo? Okay, what's next for Charlo? Who do you put in the ring with Charlo? And how do you get people to come see Charlo fight? Because Charlo has next to no fan base. Because nobody, like I said, cares for the guy. I got plenty of homeboys in the Houston area, in Houston, and they all have said that people do not mess with the Charlos in their hometown of Houston, especially Jamel. Just because of past incidents with them and just some of the stuff that they have said and done, and particularly Jamel. So this will be a PR and boxing nightmare on the PBC side because one, they're going to have to try to figure out how do they make money and get their return back on a fight with Charlo. Who do they put in the ring with him? And then at the end of the day, you hear reports that Showtime doesn't really care for the Charlos. They don't draw the ratings what Showtime is looking for. Then they can't sell tickets. So how do you expect to sell a pay-per-view with Jamel being the headliner and against two? So here's the thing. Let's just say that Jamel does win. He may be forced to fight Terrence Crawford. May be forced because they're going to have to try to find a way to get a return on him and to make some money that they invest in him for a fight. This fight is not selling well. And I don't think it's going to do very well on pay-per-view. So this is going to be a PR nightmare for the PBC if Charlo does win. While basically they're setting him up by some people's standards versus Canelo. But what if he doesn't follow the script? And it's also been this thing for PBC fighters to long suffer sometimes if they are not following the script. I know Terrell Williams paid a long, stiff price for what happened with him and Pritchard Colon because he wasn't supposed to win that fight. Now, I'm not saying that he was supposed to take a dive, but I think he was supposed to go in there and be a stepping stone for Pritchard Colon, and unfortunately, well, you know what ended up happening. And also, I think Brian Mendoza, he also didn't follow the script versus Fundora. And he ended up knocking Fundora into the middle of next week. And a lot of people, including myself, was glad to see Fundora lose, because at the end of the day, Fundora is 6'7" and fighting at 154. Man ain't got no business fighting that junior middleweight. That dude should be fighting, at the very least, should be fighting at light heavyweight, maybe cruiserweight, based off his height alone. But there is no height limitation or peak. You can fight it, basically at any weight class, no matter what your height is, as long as you can make the weight. But to sit up there and see a dude that's 6'7", 6'6", 6'7", basically fighting at 154 is kind of atrocious and egregious, as Stephen A. Smith would say. It just don't look right, and I just have to say that. So like I said, a lot of plans got ruined this year, got offset by certain people. So Brian, and the thing is, why hasn't Brian Mendoza got back in the ring since he knocked out Fundora? Ask that question. That's been a while. It's been a while since that happened. And once again, we going on October. This is the last week of September. And here we are. You ain't seen Fundora back in the ring. You ain't seen Brian Mendoza back in the ring. But you don't see content creators talking about that while they always sitting up there, kissing up to the PBC. So, there you have it. And then, like I said before, as you can see, I put together a video basically further, just picking apart these newfound Frank Martin supporters. Now, it's funny. And I'm having fun with them because I'm really into them. They get whooped on. They get brutalized. Like I said, everybody stay counting Terrence Crawford's pockets. Stay counting Shakur Stevenson's pockets. But at the end of the day, these people are trying to justify Frank Martin walking away from $1 million payday. Now, let me break this down. Let me tell you how I know that Frank Martin was getting more than 25%. And shout out to the boy, the homie Big Blunts. He broke this down because I knew the exact amount that was about to be, distributed between Frank Martin. The $1 million purse that he was going to get was more than 25%. Out of a $3 million purse. Out of a $3 million purse, if you do 25%, that's around $700,000. But they was willing to give Frank Martin $1 million. So that's $300,000 more, plus, from what I heard, additional $200,000. So he was going to get more than 25% from Top Rank. And he still pulled out of the fight. You still got these idiots talking about that Shakur Stevenson ain't a man of his word. First of all, there was never no negotiation. There was never a contract sent to Shakur Stevenson. And I keep telling y'all there wasn't no $8 million offer. These dudes is lying. So once again, Frank Martin made like $100,000 his last fight. It was going to get far more for this fight than he was for the last fight. So no telling what's going to happen with him in the next fight. Even Jamel Herring is calling BS with Frank Martin. You don't get what Top Rank offered you. Your next fight is a bad look. But this is what these dudes do. These dudes are saying that Frank Martin should get half of the purse or almost half. He don't have no championship pedigree, has not fought. I don't even think he's fought one former champion. So they think Frank Martin should get 50-50, a dude who's never fought for a championship, never won a championship. But like I said, once again, these are the same people that was saying Bud wasn't worth 50-50 with Errol Spence, telling him to take insulting 80-20, 70-30. Like I said, the nerve of these dudes. And like I said, you dudes sit up here and listen to that BS and be going, you right. Now, I don't have to name names. And like I said, once again, I ain't sneak dissing nobody because there's a lot. It's a boatload of people that be trying to push this BS. Like, first of all, you can't play devil's advocate when you don't really deal with the devil. So I'm not playing core facts and calling out this hypocrisy. So I need for somebody to logically explain to me why Frank Martin get close to, basically as far as the resume go, he's not even as, accomplished as Shakur Stevenson. But what these dudes try to do, once again, I'm explaining to you what they trying to do. To take away any blame from Frank Martin, they want to keep bringing up this Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney thing. Once again, this is apples and oranges as far as negotiations go, because like I said, at the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson is an accomplished champion in his own right. He's won 2 belts in 2 different ways. But once again, they say that Shakur don't deserve X amount with Devin Haney. And like I said, the only reason why these dudes, do what they do is because they got access to these dudes. Like I said, I don't have Shakur Stevenson's phone number. I don't have Devin Haney's phone number. And I'm just calling it right down the middle. I'm just calling out this hypocrisy. So like I said, do not listen to any video because all they going to do, let me tell you what's going to happen, how predictable these dudes is. All these dudes is going to do is make videos, once again, talking about Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. And like I said before, how can you sit up here and try to explain to me logically that Frank Martin should get what Shakur Stevenson is getting, and how should he get half of it? So once again, he was offered more than 25%. Out of a $3 million purse, if you offered $700,000, that's your 25%. But he was offered $1 million and he walked away from it. All because he just don't want to come clean and just say, hey, I'm not ready for Shakur Stevenson. And then he's sitting up here talking about his cap. No, the only person that's capping is you and the people that's sitting up here co-signing you, because they a bunch of hypocrites and they full of it. And that's all that needs to be said. And I'm going to continue to say this about these dudes. You sitting up there talking like you just this multi-division guy that then beat just stellar competition. Just beat like either former champion after former champion. Who is on your resume for you to think you should get 50-50? But Bud beating all these former champions, winning belts, but then these are the same people that's saying he don't deserve 50-50. This is why you can't take a lot of these internet dudes serious. They are agenda pushers and spin doctors, and they fanboys. And they don't make no sense whatsoever. They don't make financial sense. They don't make logical sense. Because they can't. They can't. But anyway, I got to start my workout. I'll be back more later. I'm out.